Welcome back to part three of Thoughts from the Road as I am going on a road trip here. So, I want to talk about the differentiators between cars and where the future of the automotive industry is going because honestly, I'm kind of concerned. There is this all, this kind of all spurs from a video that I watched with Chris Harris driving the new Ferrari F80. The Ferrari F80 has been very controversial because it doesn't have a V12. It has a twin turbocharged V6 with a hybrid system. And obviously, Ferrari's known for their V12s. So why did they do that? Well, he had this conversation with one of the engineers while driving the F80 around the track. And the engineer basically said, look, we've reached max horsepower. Obviously, you could increase horsepower, but it's not usable anymore. Like, what is the differentiator between 1,300 and 1,500 horsepower? It's really not any different in terms of track times or speeds or anything like that. And the difference between 300 and 500 is huge. So we're now at a point where power numbers are just so absurd, it doesn't really make a difference. You've got to have some sort of other differentiator. And 0 to 60 times go along with that too. I mean, all sorts of regular everyday cars are doing 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. So what do you do? Well, it's got to be visceral feel, right? Well, think about how much can you utilize the handling capabilities. Think about it like a Mazda Miata. That's what makes it so great is the fact that it doesn't have that much power and you can utilize it on the regular streets, no problem, without breaking without breaking laws, rather. So if it's not going to be handling, what about noise? Well, obviously, with a move towards electrification and other countries having to have particulate filters to make the exhaust quieter, noise is not going to be an option either. All right. Well, technology's got to be it, right? Well, no, because one, I think people are starting to revolt against some of the mega screen dashboards where they've got 53-inch screens like the Mercedes Super Screen, and you'll find people specifically looking for not that screen. They want something that looks like a car dashboard that still has a big screen and a big gauge cluster, but doesn't have the entire sweeping thing. Now, Cadillac and Lincoln, they're kind of going against that and going more screens and things right now, but they could just be a little bit behind the times. Alfa Romeo, on the other hand, has said, look, we're not going to do screens. We're not going to do giant screens. If you're going to do that, you might as well have a TV at home, right? All right. And then also along those lines, everybody pretty much uses Apple CarPlay. There's no real differentiator between technology, between things anymore, or Android Auto, whatever your flavor is. So technology really is the differentiator. So what isn't that's going to differentiate it? Maybe styling? No, there's so many cars that look so similar nowadays. On this trip, I was a couple cars behind what turned out to be a Buick Encore. I could not tell what it was until I was the car behind it. It blends it together. I mean, it was silver, mid-size, small SUV. I mean, it just they all kind of look the same now. So styling's not really going to be it. But along those lines, what about color? The right colors can help differentiate different cars. And Dodge has definitely tried to do that. And they've had some success with that. But majority of car buyers want white, black, or silver. So color is not going to be an option either. And cars are honestly getting so luxurious nowadays that luxury items are just kind of expected. I mean, it's to the point where Tesla is considered to be a very cheap interior, and it is, but compared to 20 years ago, it's actually a really nice interior. It has mono up and down windows, and it has heated seats on all the seats. And they're starting to get ventilated seats in Teslas too. But all these things that were big differentiators now just really were standard on almost every car. So what is it that can differentiate? The only thing that I can see is the popularity of these off-road trims means something as a differentiator, because it's like, oh, well, we're all sick of being crowded in together. Let's all go to the wilderness together. So that's where they get some of these more off-road oriented trims that don't necessarily require the same amount of power. And it gives you a different feel and a different feeling while driving on a dirt road than it does driving on a regular road, slamming the accelerator down and doing 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, That seems to be only a temporary thing, though. That it seems to be more of a fad. So where are things going in the future? And honestly, I don't have a good answer for that. Where do cars go from here to differentiate from one thing to another? Because everything looks the same, is about the same speed, has about the same power, has pretty much everything the same. So we got nowhere to go. I'm open to your suggestions. Drop a comment below. Catch you on the next one.